shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's a chilly start to the week. Look at this, some 40s out there on the map. I'll show you how close we might be to record lows. You have the chance to ask questions about plans to relocate Red Hat Amphitheater. The open house happening today.
Students at 4 schools in Rocky Mount will notice more security today. The charges a student is facing after making threats there online.
And the first round of Sunday Night Football for the 2024 season is in the books. The face-off between the Detroit Lions and LA Rams as the game ended after 11:30 last night. They had to go into overtime. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30, and here we are again at a Monday. How is it so quickly? Where did the weekend go? Hope you had a wonderful one. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Where's that day between Saturday and Sunday that we need?
Right? For that 3-day weekend.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah, that was
Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with that chill in the air this morning.
Yeah, it's chilly out there. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh. Skies are clear this morning. It's a pretty start. 56 is our temperature right now, and our dew point's 54. So it's nice and cool. Our humidity is low. A jacket might be nice, especially if you send the kids out to the bus stop and they have to stand there for 10 minutes or so. You may want to send them out. So with a jacket, it is 48 in Roxborough right now. 54 in Rocky Mount, 59 Clinton, 56 in Southern Pines. Definitely some cooler temperatures than we saw last week. We were mostly in the 60s with some 50s, and now we're in the 40s with some 50s. So chilly out there. And as compared to yesterday, temperatures are anywhere from 2 to about 8 degrees cooler. So it may be a noticeable drop in temperature if you're one of those early risers. Lunchtime, 75. We'll see a high of 81 this afternoon with lots of sunshine. But we do have the chance of some smoky haze this afternoon. I'll show you where it's coming from coming up. This week, we'll find out if thousands of North Carolina families will receive the financial help from the state that they planned for when they enrolled their children in private schools. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the state legislature this morning. Kelsey, the state Senate votes today on a deal to fully fund private school vouchers.
Renee, they sure do. And this morning, we'll find out if we're one step closer to seeing 50,000 families off of a wait list for private school vouchers. So state lawmakers will meet here in the legislative building in just a few hours. Today, we'll find out if the Senate will have a vote on a new budget that could impact your student. It includes $463 million for private school vouchers. Any North Carolina student will be eligible to receive funding for private school regardless of their income. Right now, thousands of families are on that wait list. The state is prioritizing who gets funding first based on income. Most families at the lowest income level have already received their vouchers. This new budget would cover the rest of the students on the list.
Democrats, including Governor Roy Cooper, have been fiercely opposed to this, saying this money would be better served going to our public schools throughout the state of North Carolina, pointing to teacher shortages and bus driver shortages and other problems plaguing public schools.
And the House is set to vote on this on Wednesday, and Governor Cooper, we're expecting to see him veto this if it passes. And then from there, state lawmakers will meet again in October where they could potentially override this. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Also today, security will be increased as a precaution at several schools in Edgecombe and Nash County. This comes after a student was charged for making threats online on social media. Now, Rocky Mount Middle, Edwards Elementary School, West Edgecombe Middle, and J.W. Parker Middle Schools will all have more law enforcement there on campus today. Police say they charged the student after they traced an IP address associated with an Instagram account that posted the threats.
Starting today, students in Nash County will go through extra security measures as they arrive at school. Nash County Public Schools will begin using random metal detector screenings at all elementary schools. Each week, 1 out of every 10 students at each school will be randomly selected for the safety checks. The students will be selected regardless of whether they ride buses, are dropped off by car, or walk to school. Schools will then the number of students screened and whether any weapons or other prohibited items are found.
Covering Wake County today, you can ask Raleigh city leaders about their plans to move Red Hat Amphitheater. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live this morning with today's open house about a week before we expect a final decision on this project. Laura, good morning.
Jeff, good morning. We are nearing the deadline for when city council members will have to make a decision, have to vote on this project here with the Red Hat Amphitheater behind me. I spoke with residents, local businesses, and even a city council member who believe there's still too many unanswered questions before they get to that point. So today, city staff, they want to hear from you. They want to answer those lingering questions about the proposal to move Red Hat Amphitheater a block south and to close South Street. They hope to come together and brainstorm with the community, finding solutions. Local businesses want to make sure the amphitheater stays downtown. Meanwhile, some residents have shared concerns about connectivity issues and the impact this will have on a major renovation project for the Heritage Park public housing. Councilmember Christina Jones tells me she feels this process has been rushed.
It makes it hard to say, yeah, let's go with it when we have no assurances that we have solutions to these issues. So I want to highlight all of residents' concerns.
The community open house will take place at 6 p.m. at the Martin Marietta Center. You can also submit your questions beforehand online. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
A person has serious injuries after a stabbing in Wendell. Police were called to Boxley Drive around 7 last night. Officers say 3 people got into an argument and one of them was stabbed. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there last night as police collected evidence near a vehicle.
This is generally a really quiet neighborhood, and so to see all of this chaos going on is scary. It's very scary.
We've reached out to Wendell Police for an update about the person who was stabbed and about the effort to make an arrest.
Construction work in downtown Raleigh is causing overnight closures on McDowell Street. Those crews started working last night on a resurfacing project. They'll also be working to repave Dawson Street. The work is expected to continue through mid-October from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. each night. Curb improvements in the area will happen during daylight hours.
The search for a man accused of shooting 5 people on I-75 in Kentucky will start again as soon as the sun rises. This is the man they're searching for, Joseph Couch. Authorities believe he is in the woods near where his car was found, but because of how thick the brush is, deputies paused the search overnight. 5 people were shot and 12 vehicles were hit by gunfire Saturday along the interstate. All 5 people are expected to survive.
For the next 3 days, Hargett Street will close in downtown Raleigh. That street will be closed between Dawson Street and McDowell Street starting at 9 o'clock this morning. This closure is expected to be in place until Wednesday night at 11 o'clock. Construction crews will be pouring the slab for the city's Civic Tower project. Detours are in place for both drivers and pedestrians, and the building will one day be Raleigh's new city hall. Construction is expected to be complete by 2026.
The first Sunday night football game of the season here on WRAL gave fans some extra action that lasted until after 11:30 last night. Regulation time wasn't enough for the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams. They went into overtime, tied at 20 apiece. The Lions got the ball first in the extra period, and they wasted no time. They drove straight down the field for the game-winning touchdown by David Montgomery. Detroit gets the win, 26-20. The first week of the NFL season wraps up tonight. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets will be in San Francisco to play Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers. That game gets started at 8:15 tonight on ESPN.
Less than 60 days to go until 2024 election. Vice President Kamala Harris is kicking off a battleground state tour starting right here in North Carolina. Harris will be in North Carolina Thursday, while her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, will be in Michigan. Harris is expected to hold rallies in Charlotte and Greensboro.
Tomorrow night, Harris and former President Donald Trump will meet for the first time on the debate stage. You can watch it right here on WRAL. Coverage starts at 8 p.m.
Time is 4:39 here on the WRAL Live Center. Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood with just some tragic updates coming out of Vietnam right now. There's a typhoon that is rocking that area and essentially has brought on flooding in which 59 people have been killed. 9 people were killed during the typhoon that hit Saturday, and then 50 other people died during flooding and landslides that happened as a result of this. There are rescue efforts underway this morning. That's because a bridge collapsed over a river and at least 10 vehicles, including 2 people on motorbikes, were actually found in the river. Some people have been rescued, but 13 others are missing.
Construction for a new state-of-the-art pharmaceutical plant in Lee County will start today. Japanese company Kiowa Kirin will hold a groundbreaking there at the new site in Sanford this morning, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a $530 million plant that'll bring about 100 jobs to the area once it's complete. It'll be the company's first North American plant.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is talking about being detained before the team's game.
I want to be able to, use this platform, to figure out a way to flip this and, make it a positive on both ends.
What he says happened before he was handcuffed during a traffic stop.
Also, thousands are forced to leave their homes as a wildfire in Nevada explodes in size. The damage from this fast-moving fire.
And let's take a live look at Fayetteville. It will feel like a temperature seesaw each day this week. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is helping you plan as you head out for work or school.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:43 on this nice, cool morning. Look at these 50s as you're stepping out the door. 56 in Durham, 56 in Raleigh, and 59 degrees in Fayetteville. And a couple of the stadiums up there. The baseball stadium there in Fayetteville, and of course the DBAP. The Durham Bulls are at home, but not for much longer. This is their last regular homestand of the year. Nice fall feel as you step out the door. Temperatures are in the low to mid 50s in a lot of places. A couple of 40s up near the Virginia line. So feeling very comfortable to cool walking the dog this morning. And this evening, too. By 5 o'clock, we're back down into the 70s after a high of around 81 degrees. Coming up, we're going to talk more about these cool temperatures and how it will feel and when our next chance of rain rolls in.
This afternoon, students will be able to retrieve their belongings from Appalachia High School in Georgia. Days after police say a student killed 4 people there on campus. It's still not clear when classes will resume at that school. The school's principal sent a letter to parents and students yesterday. She said school leaders are trying to figure out the best way forward. Investigators say a 14-year-old opened fire in that school last Wednesday. 2 teachers and 2 students died. 9 others were injured. The teenager and his father are both facing murder charges.
We've also learned that the mother of the suspected shooter reportedly called a school counselor with a warning before the attack last week. Reports say Marcy Gray called the school just before 10 a.m. last Wednesday. She described an extreme emergency involving her son. 20 minutes later, the 14-year-old opened fire inside the school. Gray spoke out about the shooting over the weekend, apologizing to those affected by the shooting.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is speaking out after he was detained by police before his game against the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. Hill said he was pulled over for speeding yesterday, but did not provide any more information. Cell phone video posted on social media shows Hill lying face down on the ground as officers placed his hands behind his back and appeared to put handcuffs on him. At a post-game news conference, Hill said he didn't know why the police handcuffed him, saying he wasn't disrespectful and he's still trying to figure it all out.
It wasn't disrespectful, because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss. Didn't do none of that. So, like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out, man.
First and 10.
The situation didn't appear to affect Hill's play. Caught an 80-yard touchdown pass to help lead the Dolphins to a 20-17 win over the Jaguars.
Boeing and the Machinists Union have reached a deal to avoid a 33,000-member strike. Boeing said the agreement provides pay raises of 25% over the 4-year life of the contract. It also provides improved contributions to 401k plans, reduced employee contributions for health insurance, and more time off. Rank-and-file union members who build commercial jets still need to approve the deal. A raging wildfire is forcing thousands of people out of their homes in Nevada. The so-called Davis fire is spreading between Reno and Carson City. It's already burned about 5,000 acres, and it's destroyed more than a dozen buildings. Nevada's governor declared a state of emergency. He says the state has a shortage of resources to battle the fast-moving fire.
Tracking the shark population along North Carolina's coast.
We want all of our crew to come home with fingers.
And tonight at 6, WRAL hits the water for a lesson in shark science. From big sharks to not so big, what decades of shark tracking along our coast tells us about the health of the ocean and the impact that will have if you're a seafood fan as well. That's all tonight at 6.
shark wranglers there. 4:47 now. Let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. And boy, it looks really nice out there. I'm feeling fine. 50 degrees.
Ooh, it feels nice out there. Temperatures in the 40s up near the Virginia line and around the Triangle area. Temperatures are in the 50s this morning. And we'll take a look at 56 heading out the door, dew point 54. So it's super comfortable, really cool feeling. Here we are on September the 10th, and we typically still have some 90-degree days. The average last 90-degree day is actually the 12th, which would be tomorrow. And we have really slid into September with some comfortable conditions, and it looks like that will continue through this week. We'll hit 70 degrees by around 11 o'clock this morning, making a really nice feeling lunch hour outside. Temperatures heading out the door are cooler than yesterday by about 5 to 8 degrees. 48 Roxborough, 50 South Hill, 59 Fayetteville, 60 in Clinton. And our skies are clear right now. Clear skies allow all the daytime heating to escape into the atmosphere as heat rises. It rises off the surface of the earth, and we start to cool things off. And without any clouds to hold that heat in, it cools off quickly. And that's what we're seeing this morning. Nice cool temperatures tomorrow, also down to 55, and tomorrow 58. After that, our temperatures will start to creep up again as we get closer to the weekend. Sort of like this past weekend, we're going to see an increase in moisture, an increase in clouds, and we do have a chance of some showers into the weekend, which we'll talk more about coming up in just a little while. The average low since June 1st has been 70 degrees, so this is pretty pleasant, but we are getting a little closer to 70 again over the weekend. 75 at lunchtime, perfect for eating your lunch outside today. It's just going to be a lovely, lovely day for us. We take a look at our Weather Watcher photo. A little bit of cloud cover from the weekend from William Friedrich from Wilson. Beautiful there. That sunset looking absolutely gorgeous. WRAL.com, Weather Watchers, that's where you can send us some photos. We'd love to see what's happening in your backyard. 82 in Raleigh and Durham today, 85 in Fayetteville, lots and lots of sunshine, very low humidity. It's comfortable through Thursday, and then by Friday into Saturday, we jump back up to humid because we do add that chance of some showers. 85 is our normal high, and so we'll be at or below that all the way through Friday, so our temperatures remain nice and comfortable, which is perfect for the last home stand for the Durham Bulls. Can't believe, yep, summer is wrapping on up. 79 tomorrow, 80 on Wednesday, 74 on Thursday, so it's really going to be nice out there for some baseball games. The only sort of fly in the ointment for the next couple of days is we may see smoke from wildfires out west, Montana. The sunrise could be a little bit actually prettier than normal, but we shouldn't have any air quality problems. It just may look a little bit hazy. Start of the Durham Bulls homestand Tuesday, and then we do have rain in the forecast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It may not be a washout, though. I'll show you how to walk through it coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. A long-awaited sequel took the top spot at the box office in its debut weekend. Beetlejuice, how it ranks against other major box office hits this year.
And a summer of sports is officially over in France. The most memorable moments from the Paralympics closing ceremony. Paris has said a final au revoir to the 2024 Summer Olympic Games. The Paralympic Games wrapped up last night. Some 4,400 athletes from nearly 200 countries took part in the closing ceremony. The Stade de France was lit up in the colors of the French national flag. A trumpet player played the French national anthem as Paralympic flag bearers carried their national flags into the stadium. Later, Tony Award winner Ali Stroker performed the American national anthem as a part of the handoff to Los Angeles for the 2028 Olympic Games. China dominated the Paralympics with 222 medals. Great Britain came in second with 125, and Team USA finished in third with 105 medals.
The historic night for women's soccer. San Diego Waves played the North Carolina Courage, and Alex Morgan took the pitch for the final game of her career. She announced last week she would retire immediately as she's expecting her second child. Morgan lined up for a penalty kick in the 10th minute of the game, but Courage goalie Casey Murphy was up to the stop. A few minutes later, Morgan left the game, waved goodbye to her fans, and after that, it was all Courage. They got goals from 4 different players, won the game 4-1.
Nicole Kidman receives one of Venice Film Festival's biggest prizes, and The Wolfman gets a modern update. Here's Rick Damagello with the Hollywood Minute.
Nicole, on your right shoulder. Nicole Kidman nabs another major honor. The actress took home the Best Actress Award at this year's Venice Film Festival for her work in the erotic thriller Baby Girl. The event's top honor, the Golden Lion Award for Best Film, went to Pedro Almodovar's The Room Next Door.
What was that thing like? It sounded like an animal.
Werewolves return to the big screen. This is your first look at Wolfman, a new remake of the 1941 horror classic. Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner star in the freaky flick, which is set to arrive in January. Jamie Foxx will open up about his recent health scare in a new stand-up set. The actor has yet to publicly disclose what caused his 2023 hospitalization, but he announced a new one-man show on his Instagram titled What Had Happened Was, An Evening with Jamie Foxx. The event will take place in Atlanta over 3 nights in October and will reportedly be taped for Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
And after 36 years of waiting, the ghost with the most is back and made the most of his opening weekend. Beetlejuice launched its first place with an estimated $110 million. The long-awaited sequel is the third best opening weekend of the year, only behind Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. The original film earned a mere $8 million in its opening weekend back in 1988, but went on to make $77 million in theaters domestically as it became a cult classic. You have a chance to give your opinion or suggest some solutions about the plan to relocate Red Hat Amphitheater, the open house that's happening today.
Another weekend of protests in Israel, the mounting pressure on leaders to accept a hostage deal.